WNBA enters finals with one of its top playoff audiences since '99. A dramatic winner-take-all game between two of the league's highest-profile teams delivered one of the top WNBA playoff audiences since 1999. Tuesday's Fever Aces WNBA semifinal Game 5 averaged 1.83 million viewers on ESPN2, trailing only Caitlin Clark's two playoff games last year, 2.54 M and 1.84 M, as the most-watched WNBA playoff game outside of the finals since 1999. The Aces' overtime win, which peaked with 2.1 million viewers, ranks fourth among all playoff games, including the finals, since 2000, behind the two Clark games and Game 5 of last year's finals, Lynx Liberty, 2.15 M. For the season, Game 5 ranks sixth in viewership behind five other Fever games, four of which featured Clark. Overall, the Fever have played in the 9 most-watched WNBA games this season, and that does not include the WNBA All-Star Game, which the franchise hosted in Indianapolis. Keep in mind that the majority of regular season viewership figures are panel-only, rather than the big data plus panel figures that became Nielsen currency in September. Seven-figure WNBA audiences have become such a frequent occurrence that they are no longer notable. But recall that prior to the start of last season, no WNBA game of any kind had averaged 1 million viewers since 2008. The full WNBA semifinals averaged 1.3 million viewers, up 57% from last year. While Nielsen's February expansion of out-of-home viewing and September rollout of Big Data Plus panel mean that this year's numbers have a built-in advantage over prior seasons, that would not fully account for an increase of such size. The big gains for the semifinals helped counter a double-digit decline for the opening round. Entering the finals, WNBA playoff games averaged 1.1 million viewers, up 15% from a year ago. Again, keep in mind that these are Big Data Plus panel figures being compared to last year's panel-only viewership. The postseason average figures to benefit further from the newly expanded WNBA finals. While average viewership figures to take a hit from the absence of New York, series length is often a bigger viewership driver than matchup quality, and the Mercury Aces series will not have to go the distance in order to be the longest in league history. There's a kind of electricity in the air this October that feels different. You can't quite see it, but you can feel it, in the tweets, the highlight reels, the sold-out seats, the conversations spilling out of coffee shops and into office hallways. The WNBA has entered its finals with one of its highest playoff audiences since 1999, and for the first time in decades, the league isn't just chasing relevance. It's redefining it. The lights dim, the cameras roll, and somewhere in Las Vegas, the Aces Arena is alive with anticipation. On the other side of the country, Phoenix's desert heat hums around a crowd ready to witness history. The numbers are in. Television ratings are soaring. Social media engagement has doubled since last postseason, and playoff attendance has broken records. But the statistics only tell part of the story. What's unfolding is bigger. A cultural shift years in the making. A league reborn. The last time the WNBA reached playoff viewership heights like this, Bill Clinton was president, Destiny's Child had just released the writings on the wall, and a young league was still fighting for identity in a sports world dominated by its older brother, the NBA. Back then, names like Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl Swoops, and Lisa Leslie carried the league on their backs, establishing a foundation of greatness that generations would build upon. But for years after, the momentum seemed to fade in and out. Even as legends came and went, Tamika Catchings, Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, the spotlight flickered inconsistently. There were great games, but fewer eyes watching them. Great stories, but not enough people hearing them. Now, though, everything has changed. The 2025 WNBA playoffs have become a cultural event, not just a sporting one. Streaming services, influencers, college basketball fans, and even casual NBA diehards have found themselves tuning in, drawn by a blend of high-level play and something far more compelling: authenticity. Caitlin Clark and the ripple effect. It would be impossible to discuss this surge without mentioning Caitlin Clark. The rookie from Iowa, whose NCAA career shattered records and sold out arenas, didn't just bring fans to the Fever, she brought them to the league. Every Fever game this season became appointment viewing. Clark's logo threes, court vision, and poise against veteran defenders reignited public curiosity about the WNBA. But while Clark lit the match, she didn't burn alone. Nafisa Collier's leadership in Minnesota, Aya Wilson's dominance in Las Vegas and Kalia Kappa's flair in Phoenix turned the playoffs into a showcase of contrast and competition. By the time the semifinals arrived, the WNBA was trending daily on social media. ESPN and Amazon Prime broadcasts saw spikes unseen since the turn of the millennium. And this wasn't a one-star show. It was a tapestry of stories converging at the perfect moment. Beyond the court, what makes this era of the WNBA so captivating isn't just the play, it's the pulse. The league has become a mirror for broader cultural conversations. Players are visible, vocal, and authentic. They talk about motherhood, social issues, nil money, fashion, and the economics of women's sports without fear of losing fans. In fact, their openness seems to have done the opposite. It's gaining them fans who crave genuine connection in a polished, filtered sports landscape. Even the WNBA's aesthetics have evolved. The tunnel fits are runway-worthy. The halftime shows feature female artists on the rise. The commercials aren't just about sneakers. They're about identity, power, and representation. And the finals, this stage that once felt niche, now feels like the center of something unstoppable. The 2025 finals, a new era collides. This year's matchup couldn't have been scripted better if Hollywood tried. The Las Vegas Aces, led by Aya Wilson and Kelsey Plum, chasing a three-peat and dynasty status. The Phoenix Mercury, rejuvenated behind Copper and Brittany Griner, seeking redemption and legacy. Every possession feels like a conversation between generations, between the league's old guard and its fearless future. Outside the arenas, fans wear jerseys not just of one team, but of players they love. A teenager in Iowa might wear a Fever jersey while cheering for the Mercury because her favorite player is Clark, even if she's not in the finals. A father-daughter duo in Minnesota streams the games together, the dad recalling the days of Simone Augustus, the daughter talking about Aaliyah Boston's rim protection. It's more than fandom now. It's connection. Media meets momentum. Television networks have noticed and adjusted. Primetime slots. Enhanced production values. Player-focused features before tip-off. A partnership with TikTok and YouTube Shorts has given the WNBA a constant stream of bite-sized highlights that reach millions daily. For decades, skeptics argued that women's basketball couldn't draw. This postseason, those doubts evaporated. When the semifinals drew viewership rivaling early-round NBA playoff numbers, sponsors came calling. Nike and Google doubled their ad commitments. New streaming platforms made bids for exclusive content. It's not just a women's league anymore, it's a major league.